Alright then, so we're now reaching the final stages of the solve. All we've got left to do is the final layer on each of the two puzzles. Now the first thing we do is orient the edges correctly on the final layer. You should be familiar with an algorithm on the 3x3 which flips the edges on the final layer, which is F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. We're going to use the same algorithm here, but it works slightly different on the Hexaminx. Now what this algorithm actually does is it moves the piece at the front, the edge piece at the front, to the right hand side and flips it. It moves the piece from the right hand side to the back, but keeps the same orientation, and it moves the piece from the back to the front and flips it. So if I do this in the algorithm in the current state of this puzzle, what's actually going to happen is the brown piece is going to go there and flip. That is going to stay the same orientation and go to the back, so that'll still be incorrect. So the brown one will be correctly oriented in this position, the pink one will be at the back incorrectly oriented, and the blue one will come to the front and that will flip, so that'll be incorrectly oriented. So I'll have a wrong one, a right one, and a wrong one when I finish the algorithm. So that works quite well, because then I can just do the same thing again, and that will flip these two, the one at the front and the one at the back, on the second attempt. So I can just do the algorithm twice. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll do the first one. So it's F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. You can see that the brown has gone to the side, it is correctly oriented, the pink is at the back, incorrect, and the blue is at the front, incorrect. Now if I do this algorithm again, the blue is going to go to there and flip, so that'll be correct. The brown is going to go to the back and stay the way it is, so that will be correct. The pink will come to the front and that will flip, so that will be correct, and that will be all 5 edges correct then. So one more time, so that's F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And you can see I've now got all 5 of my edges correctly oriented. So you may well need to use a different combination of those. You have to work out for yourself exactly what combination of those moves will work. But if you can get to that situation that I've just had, where these two were wrong or where these two are wrong, you can see that you can then see exactly what you need to do to finish off those 5 orientations. Okay, so let's see what we've got on the Hexaminx over here. I can see that I've got, well, at first glance it looks like a strange situation, because I've got 1, 2, 3 oriented correctly. The one here with the Calvin's logo on has got no orientation, and one here that's incorrect. So having one flipped should be impossible, so that actually must mean that this one we need to flip as well, the one with the Calvin's logo on. And it's pure by chance, it's in the same situation as my Super Hexaminx was over there. So if I imagine that this one here can be flipped as needed, this Calvin's logo one, because either way up it will still be correct, so that's absolutely fine. So I'll basically do the same as I did before. So this will be my F face. Let me just line it up correctly so it will actually turn, that'll be helpful. So this will be my F face, and this will be my R face, and obviously this is my U face. So if I do F, when I do this, I'm going to end up with a situation where I've got the front and right rear flipped, so I can just do the algorithm twice, just like I did on the Hexaminx there. So F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, and you can now see that I've got an incorrect one on the front and an incorrect one on the back right, which is exactly as I had before. So I'll just do the algorithm one more time. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, and you can see I have now got the yellow at the top of each one of my edge pieces, so that's all good. So remember, if you've got a situation where doesn't look like it's possible, remember you've got an edge piece there, the single colour edge piece that can go either way around, and use that, so because flipping that will make no difference whatsoever to the solved state. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is first orient our centerpiece correctly, and then position all the edges around it correctly. So orient it with the green bar facing green on this one, whereas on the Hexaminx what I need to do is orient it so that the two house shapes are pointing opposite away from each other like on all the other sides, so that's fine. Now, you may be, well, you should be familiar with algorithms on the 3x3 for rotating 3 edge pieces. That isn't going to work on these. You can sort of use those algorithms adapted slightly for the Hexaminx, but the problem is they actually rotate the centerpieces, so that's not going to work on our Super Hexaminx or on our Hexaminx over there. So we need to come up with something else. Now, another algorithm that works well for moving edges around is the Soon. You'll be familiar with this from the 3x3 for orienting all your corners. Now, we're not going to worry about orienting the corners on this. We'll do that as the final step of the solve. But what it actually does is it rotates 3 edge pieces around. So if I do a, you can see I've got a green, pink, blue there. If I do a Soon, so R, U, R prime, U, R. Now you can do U3 here instead of U2 like you were on a 3x3. Or you can just do a U2 prime, it doesn't actually matter, it's exactly the same thing. And what that's actually done is cycled these 3 edges around, the blue, green and pink. So you can also do this by doing R, U, R prime, U, 2, R, U2, R prime. And what that actually does, I've accidentally solved them all there, I didn't actually expect that to happen, but what that will actually do is cycle that edge, and that edge, instead of that edge, and that edge in the original version. So once again, work out which combination of Soons you need to perform before you start doing the sequence, and you'll be able to figure out which 3 edges you need to swap. Let me just mess that up again so that I can go through a solve of those edges. Okay, so my centre's oriented correctly. I've got the green one solved. Hopefully you should find you've got one edge solved in the right position with the centerpiece. If not, then just perform one of these Soons and you should get one into the correct position. Okay, so now actually I want a red piece here. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is just get this red piece over here by performing a Soon, and that will leave me with 3 edges to cycle after that. So if I've got the red piece over the back, so cycling these 3 edges will do that. So R, U, R prime, U, R, U3, R prime. And you can see what that's done is put the red in there, and I've now got these 3 to cycle. So once again, you put it so that you've got a correct one in front of you, and the 3 wrong ones run anti-clockwise from the correct one. So one more time, R, U, R prime, U, R, U3, R prime, and you can see that's put all our edges in position. Alright, so now we translate that over to the Hexaminx over here. I can see that I haven't actually got any edges in the correct position on this one at the moment. So what I'm going to do is a Soon that cycles these 3 edges, and this will put this yellow and blue one into the correct position over here, because you can see it's actually between yellow and blue at the moment. So, and it's oriented correctly, so it's obviously not the piece that belongs there, so it must belong here. So that's what I'll do. This is going to be my R face. This is obviously my U face. So R, U, R prime, U, R, U3, R prime. And you can see that we have now got this yellow and blue edge in the correct position, so we need to cycle 3 more edges with Soons elsewhere. Now I'll do exactly what I did before. I've got the yellow red edge over here, and we want that over here. So we're doing a 3 cycle with this as my R face. We'll bring that red yellow around to its correct position over here. So R, U, R prime, U, R, U3, R prime. And you can see that's brought that red yellow over to where it belongs here. We've got our yellow blue here, so that leaves us with 3 edges incorrectly positioned. So we just do exactly the same again. My R face will now become this one, and obviously my U is still the same unsolved face. So one more time, R, U, R prime, U, R, U3, R prime. And that's it. That's put all of my edges in the correct positions. If any of those just don't work on the first attempt, because it's a 3 cycle, doing the sequence one more time will put all the pieces in the last remaining possible combination for the 3 cycle. So try doing this in exactly the same position one more time if the edges aren't going where you need them to be. Alright then, so the next stage is to position all our corners correctly. Now, you remember I said a little while ago that we're not bothering with orienting our corners like you would on a 3x3 but using the beginner's method. What we've got here is a 3 cycle of pieces that will swap this and this corner piece in a rotation. So I can see that we haven't actually got any pieces in the right place at the moment, so what I'm going to do is find a position that will just put one into place using that 3 cycle. And I can see that the grey, brown, blue needs to go around to here, so I'm going to start off with that cycle. Actually, I'm just going to move these 3 around. Now the algorithm for doing this is L prime U, R U prime, L U, R prime, U prime. You can see that cycled those 3 around, but the white, grey, brown, blue hasn't actually gone. It's only gone from there to there. We need to do it one more time to move it from there to there. So exactly the same algorithm again. So it's L prime U, R U prime, L U, R prime, U prime. And as you can see, the grey, blue, and brown has gone into the correct position now. Now this algorithm does actually flip some pieces as well, so you may find that some get oriented correctly as well, but we don't need to worry about that because any that aren't oriented correctly we will fix at the end. So remember, this algorithm does a cycle on the 2 on the left face here that's actually kind of at the back of the puzzle, not the L at the front. So he cycles the 2 top pieces of that and the one on the opposite side at the back. So let's see what else we can do. We've got the grey, pink, blue here, and that needs to go all the way around the puzzle to this far side. So if I do a cycle that takes it around to here, we can sort that out later. What I'll actually work on doing is getting this grey, brown, red piece into here, and I can do that by doing a 3 cycle just 2 more times. So it'll go to there first and then we come round to here. So the same algorithm again. So it's L prime U, R U prime, L U, R prime, U prime. So that's put it over to the back right here. So one more time we'll bring it round to the front left. So L prime U, R U prime, L U, R prime, U prime. So you now see our grey, brown and red is in the correct position. That one's still solved, the grey, brown and blue. So that leaves us with 3 pieces that need cycling. So doing the algorithm one more time on those 3, we'll put them all in the correct places. So L prime U, R U prime, L U, R prime, U prime. And that's it. You can see that all of our corners are in the correct places. Some are oriented correctly, some aren't. We'll fix that again in the next step, once we've sorted out the positions of the corners on the Hexaminx. Alright, so remember this is our final face. I can see straight away that I've got one corner piece in the correct position, which is fine, and this yellow blue is in the correct position too. So that's worked out quite lucky really. So all I need to do is rotate these 3 corners around this yellow, red, blue, the orange, yellow corner and the red, yellow corner to get them in the right position. So remembering that this is our up face, we then need to find what our other 2 faces be, our L and R, which were, if you remember, were kind of around the back of the top face on our Hexaminx over here. So when you turn the L and the R that are on the Hexaminx, you can see that what they actually do is they have one edge between them at the back of the puzzle. That's the easy way to recognise that I've found that you're actually turning the correct 2 places, that they kind of sandwich one edge piece at the back of the puzzle. Because it's quite disorienting to find which faces to use as your R and L on the Hexaminx because of the shape of the puzzle. So I can see that if I turn this puzzle here, with this back edge here with the blue centre, that sandwiches this red yellow edge piece, and the other yellow centre sandwiches the other, is on the other side of that yellow red edge piece. So that will be my two faces. This will be my L, this will be my R, and this of course will be my U. So it'll be L prime, remembering to have the pieces that need cycling on the two of them at the top of the left face and the other one on the other side of the back face. So doing that algorithm one more time, it'll be L prime U, R U prime, L U, R prime U prime. Now you can see that I've cycled those three corners around, but they're not in the correct places, so we need to do the algorithm one more time to do one more 3 cycle on those same corners. So keeping the puzzle exactly the same orientation, I'll do it one more time. So it'll be L prime U, R U prime, L U, R prime U prime. And you can see we've now got the yellow orange in the correct place, and we've got these in the correct place as well, just oriented incorrectly. Now all we've got to do now is to orient our corners correctly. So it's a very simple algorithm you should be familiar with, which is just R prime D prime R D, repeated over and over again, and that will flip the corners that we need flipping. So you put the corner that needs flipping on the front right edge here, so they've got the grey, pink, blue as I'm looking at it now, and perform that algorithm 2 times. So R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. You can see it's back where it belongs, but it's still not oriented correctly, so we do it one more time. R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. And you can see that's now oriented correctly, but we've messed up some stuff down here, but we do this algorithm a few more times, well 2 more times actually, a total of 6, and that will restore everything that gets messed up down here, so we don't need to worry about that. So the next thing we do is just turn the U face to get another incorrectly oriented corner there, and do 2 more of the algorithm. So it's R prime U prime R D, R prime U prime R D. You can see that this is all now solved again, and all we've done is rotated a few corners. Okay, so all we need to do to solve the rest is just to repeat that sequence of moves on all the wrongly oriented corners. Let's just put our U face back where it belongs. You can see all I've got left now are 2 corners to do. So let's start off on the grey, pink, green one here. So R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. That's corrected that one. Bring the other one around to this right hand position that we need to orient, and do the algorithm 2 more times. R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. You can see that it's still not oriented, so one last time. R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. We return the up face to its correct position. You can see that that's now solved, and that's it. That's the entire puzzle solved. So that's all we need to do now on our Hexaminx to finish off the solve. Now remember, this is going to be our U face. It's got all the wrongly oriented corners on it, and so what we need to do is figure out what's going to be our D face. So if I do a quick R prime, I can see that my D face will be this white centre here. It can take a little bit of practice to orient yourself correctly on this puzzle, but with a little practice you'll get used to which faces you need to turn. So if this is my R face, this is my first corner that needs oriented. Needs orienting the yellow blue face. Sorry, the yellow blue corner piece here. So let's sort out that one out. So R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. You can see that that is now solved. So rotate my U face to bring another piece to the top right corner, and do the algorithm again. So it's R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. You can see one more time that that's oriented that one correctly, so turn my U face to bring another corner here, and one more time R prime D prime R D, R prime D prime R D. and you can see that I have now finished solving the Hexaminx. You'll more than likely have to do that sequence of moves more than that. I got lucky that it only needed one cycle of 6 repeats of that algorithm to fix the corners on this occasion, but normally you'll find you need to do it a few more times than that, but it will always be in multiples of 6, and as long as you only rotate the U face between each repetition of that algorithm, you'll find that you don't mess up any other parts of the puzzle completely, as each cycle of 6 returns all of this back to its normal state. Alright then, so that's it for this tutorial, guys. I hope this is going to be useful to some of you. If you've got any questions about anything I've said in these videos, please feel free to post and ask me how to do it. If you're stuck on anything with the Hexaminx whatsoever, just give me a shout and hopefully I'll be able to help you out. Okay then guys, thanks very much for watching and I'll see you next time. Take care now. Bye.